Music has always been a place where emotions and stories are sublimated, but few people know that behind the legendary hits, many black artists have had to hide a part of themselves throughout their careers. Today we will reveal the stories of 25 black musicians who you may not know are part of the LGBTQ+ community. These stories not only make us admire their talent, but also open the door to freedom, courage to live, and acceptance in a challenging industry. Are you ready to discover these untold secrets? Watch the video and feel the freedom, courage, and love reflected in every note. If you sympathize, leave a comment, share your feelings, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next inspirational stories. Little Richard not only shaped American music, he also changed the sound of the 20th century. Born on December 5, 1932 in Mon, Georgia, he grew up in a devoutly religious family where his rebellious nature often clashed with family and church expectations. At 15, he left home to perform around the world, bringing with him his powerful, captivating voice. In 1955, his breakthrough single Tutti Frutti was released, ushering in a new sound, wild rhythms, and sensual energy, selling more than 1 million copies, and catapulting him to stardom. But behind the spotlight, Little Richard was a conflicted man. He openly had relationships with men, but sometimes denounced homosexuality, citing religious reasons. This internal conflict haunted him throughout his life, forcing him to abandon music to pursue preaching, then return to the stage several times. Being a gay black man in the entertainment industry meant risking his career and his life. Despite his profound influence on Elvis Presley, James Brown, and the Beatles, he was marginalized by the music industry. Little Richard was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986 and received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1993. He died in 2020 at the age of 87, leaving behind an immortal legacy of music and freedom of expression. Frankie Knuckles' music was more than just a melody. It was a refuge in a world of prejudice, discrimination, and fear. He combined disco soul and gospel with expansive instrumentals, creating a hypnotic sound full of hope and energy that lasted until dawn. Mixes like Your Love and Baby Wants to Ride not only rocked the clubs, but also carried profound political messages about sexuality, religion, and civil rights. Openly gay all his life, Knuckles was never showy or dramatic. He let his music speak for itself, conveying freedom and self-belief. As one of the few openly gay black men in the music industry, he paved the way for future artists. In 1997, he became the first person to win a Grammy for Best Remix Artist outside of the traditional categories, and in 2004, Chicago named a street after him to honor his musical legacy and community. Frankie Knuckles died of complications from diabetes on March 31, 2014, at the age of 59, leaving behind an immortal legacy as a DJ, spiritual leader, and revolutionary icon who changed the course of electronic music. When Luther Vandross sang, the world stopped to listen. Born on April 20, 1951, in New York, Vandross rose from a backup singer to become one of R&B's most iconic voices. His silky voice and heartfelt delivery on songs like Never Too Much Here and Now and Dance with My Father brought him fame and earned him 4 Grammy Awards in 2004 alone. But behind the romantic ballads was a man who had been keeping a secret for decades. Vandross never came out publicly about his sexuality, though close friends like Patti LaBelle and Bruce Vilanch confirmed he was gay. He may have feared losing his loyal female fan base or disappointing his deeply religious family, and he faced cultural prejudice against gay black men in the R&B world of the 1980s and 1990s. That loneliness was reflected in his heartfelt love songs. After suffering a stroke in 2003, Vandross was writing new music, but died on July 1, 2005 at the age of 54. His timeless romantic musical legacy still resonates with millions, though his personal pain and longing are rarely known. Michelle Lynn Johnson, born August 29, 1968 in Berlin, Germany, and raised in Washington, D.C., goes by the stage name Hell or Cello in Swahili, which means free as a bird, and that's exactly how she lives her life and her music. She first came to attention in the early 1990s with her debut album, Plantation Lullabies, a daring fusion of funk, soul, hip-hop, and jazz that shook up the music industry. But it wasn't just her music that made an impression. Mel was also distinguished by her uncompromising honesty. Coming out as bisexual early in her career, she challenged stereotypes about race, gender, and politics. Songs like Leviticus directly confronted homophobia, sparking controversy and conflict with radio stations. Her second album, Peace Beyond Passion, was nominated for a Grammy, cementing her reputation as one of the most fearless voices in music. Throughout her career, Mel has received 10 Grammy nominations and collaborated with Madonna, John Mellencamp, and Robert Glasper. Her greatest achievement has been creating a space for queer black women to express themselves. As she once said, "I don't care about putting myself in boxes. I want to blow them away." And both her music and her lifestyle reflect that spirit. Christopher Edwin Breaux, better known as Frank Ocean, was born on October 28, 1987, in Long Beach, California. He rose to fame as a songwriter for stars like Beyoncé and Justin Bieber before breaking through with his 2011 mixtape, Nostalgia Ultra. In July 2012, just days before the release of his debut studio album Channel Orange Ocean, posted an open letter on Tumblr about his first love, a young man. The confession sent shockwaves through the hip-hop and R&B industry, where no black male artist had ever come out so openly at such a high point. Some praised his courage, while others questioned his timing and motives, but Ocean was candid. "I need to get this over with before I release an album." Channel Orange debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and won a Grammy for Best Urban Contemporary Album. Songs like Bad Religion and Thinking About You took on new meaning after his revelation. Though he became more private afterward, Frank Ocean continued to impress with Blonde 2016, which was hailed as an intimate masterpiece. Never labeling himself Ocean through his honesty, created space for a new kind of masculinity in music. Vulnerable, reflective, and free, opening up the next generation of artists to express their true emotions. Janelle Monáe is more than just a musical phenomenon. She's a coded message from the future. Born on December 1, 1985 in Kansas City, Kansas, Monáe is known for her bold-style black and white suits, cinematic concepts, and sci-fi albums with profound messages. Early works like 2007's Metropolis: The Chase Suite and 2010's The Arch Android tell the story of Cindy Mayweather, a time-traveling android rebel who fights against societal oppression, creating a world where queerness, race, and gender are protected and celebrated. For years, she avoided answering questions about her sexual orientation, focusing on her art. But in 2018, before the release of Dirty Computer, Monáe came out as pansexual, calling herself a mother with a free heart. The album celebrates black womanhood, sexual fluidity, and rebellion with songs like Make Me Feel and Pink, becoming anthems for the queer community reminiscent of Prince and Grace Jones. Outside of music, Monáe is an advocate for non-binary rights, climate justice, and racial equality. In 2022, she came out as non-binary and began using both she, her, and they, them pronouns, reflecting the evolution of language and acceptance in mainstream pop music. Lil Nas X, didn't just rise to fame. He rewrote the rules of fame, born Monto Lamar Hill on April 9, 1999, in Lithia Springs, Georgia. He was an internet-savvy teenager who became a global sensation with Old Town Road in 2019. The song, a mix of country and trap, quickly shot to #1 and spent a record-breaking 19 weeks atop the Billboard Hot 100. At the height of his success, Lil Nas X subtly hinted at his sexuality in a tweet on June 30, 2019. Fans and critics quickly realized he had come out as gay, sending shockwaves through the conservative hip-hop and country music industries. Some praised his courage while others mocked or tried to undermine him. However, Lil Nas X continued to express his freedom and courage on his album Montero Call Me By Your Name, where he not only acknowledged but also celebrated his queerness through imagery of dancing with the devil and going to hell. Despite facing religious shame growing up, his openness and honesty provided relief and inspiration to his fans, proving the power of being true to yourself. Michelle Lynn Johnson, born April 23, 1992 in Los Angeles. Also known as Syd, first gained attention as a member of the alternative hip-hop group Odd Future, where her calm, reserved style contrasted sharply with the group's chaotic energy. She later rose to prominence as the lead singer of the R&B internet band, whose debut album, Ego Death 2015, was nominated for a Grammy for Best Urban Contemporary Album. Syd is notable for openly acknowledging her identity as a queer black woman in R&B, which has long been dominated by heterosexual and male-dominated love stories. Her music focuses on desire and personal experience without fanfare or apology. Her solo album, Fin 2017, with tracks like Body and All About Me, transcended the conventional themes of love and became a gentle affirmation of confidence, honesty, and the right to be yourself, especially for queer black women. Syd never had to come out publicly because her music spoke for itself. Building her own studio early in her career was a testament to her independence and control in an industry that often marginalized queer black women, making her a symbol of artistic and creative freedom. Clifford Ian Simpson, born July 16, 1996 in Corpus Christi, Texas. Better known by his stage name Kevin Abstract, is the co-founder of Brockhampton, a boy band that claims to have redefined the boundaries of hip-hop and challenged traditional masculinity. Kevin came out as gay early in his career, insisting that his music reflect that truth. In a hip-hop scene that was still wary of openly gay voices, his presence was groundbreaking. He led Brockhampton projects such as Saturation Iridescence and Ginger with raw, vulnerable songs that explored identity denial and desire expressing emotional honesty. The song Junkie is a clear example of directly confronting the fear and prejudice of gay people in the hip-hop community. Kevin did not hide his queerness. He made it central to Brockhampton's identity, breaking the mold of the traditional hip-hop narrative. Despite facing isolation and trauma, Kevin continued to define himself through solo projects like Arizona Baby and collaborations with other gay artists, expanding his influence and continually challenging the norms of the music industry. Tyler Gregory Okonma, born March 6, 1991 in Hawthorne, California, burst onto the scene with his 2009 mixtape, Bastard, a fiery diary-like record that reflected the chaos and rebellion of youth. He is a founding member of Odd Future, a rap group that combines skate culture horror and suburban chaos into a raw, unique, and refreshing style. Initially, Tyler's lyrics were controversial with accusations of misogyny and homophobia, leading him to be banned from entering the UK in 2015, but as his music matured, so did his subject matter. His 2017 album Flower Boy showed a marked shift. Lyrics like "I've been kissing white boys since 2004" were heartfelt confessions wrapped in his signature sarcasm. Tyler not only acknowledges his difference but also embraces it with surprising vulnerability and honesty. His 2019 album Igor focuses on the pain of love and complicated relationships, winning the Grammy for Best Rap Album and defining a new public image. He defies labels shying away or being sarcastic when answering questions about his sexuality, creating his own musical and fashion style, redefining the boundaries of masculinity in hip-hop. Freddie Ross Jr., born January 28, 1978 in New Orleans, grew up in a Baptist family and sang in the church choir. But her true voice began to shine in underground clubs, where Bounce's vibrant hip-hop style created space for the Black and queer community to express themselves. Big Freedia was a pioneer in making this happen, combining femininity, masculinity, and Southern pride into her music. Her career exploded in the early 2000s with underground hits like Gin and My System and Ass Everywhere. But it wasn't until the 2010s that mainstream audiences took notice. The reality show Big Freedia, Queen of Bounce 2013, brought her and bounce culture to new heights, not only in terms of music but also in terms of the LGBTQ+ community in New Orleans. She further cemented her influence by collaborating with Beyoncé on Break My Soul 2022. Despite facing challenges from critics' personal loss and legal issues, Big Freedia has used her platform to raise awareness about inclusion, HIV/AIDS, and justice for minority communities, cementing her iconic status in pop music and queer culture. Justin Harris, born October 8, 1993 in Bridgeport, Connecticut, began his career as a makeup artist for rap duo City Girls. However, his confident personality and distinctive voice quickly propelled him into the spotlight. In 2019, he released his self-produced Walk Like a Dog, which became a TikTok phenomenon. Santana not only challenged rigid norms of masculinity in hip-hop, but also came out as gay and embraced high-fashion tracks like Material Girl. And Walk confirmed that he was not just entertaining, but also changing the game, making a cultural impact beyond music. Social media became a platform for Santana to express his views and connect with his community, although he was criticized for old tweets and faced online hate, much of it homophobic and misogynistic. Still, he performs at major festivals, collaborates with Madonna, and signs with RCA Records in 2022. Santana's presence opens up new conversations about gender expression and discrimination in hip-hop, proving that music can be a powerful tool for changing perceptions and promoting personal freedom. McConnon, also known by his stage name I Love, McConnon has never fit the traditional mold. Born on April 12, 1989 in Los Angeles and raised in Atlanta, he embraced the rhythm and emotion of rap music before it became mainstream. In 2014, his breakthrough single Tuesday, featuring Drake, became an international hit, earning a Grammy nomination and redefining the contemporary rap sound. On the brink of fame, McConnon did what few hip-hop artists dare. In January 2017, he came out as gay on Twitter, writing, "I can't speak for someone else's wardrobe. I can only speak my mind." The move was met with mixed reactions. Some fans and the media praised his courage, but the music industry was indifferent. Collaboration opportunities stalled, labels were slow to support, and some colleagues shunned him. Instead of backing down, McConnon embraced his independence, releasing music on his own terms that explored deep themes like isolation, mental health, and resilience. He continued to build a loyal fan base that appreciated the transparency and honesty in his art, turning his challenges into personal strength. Born Josiah Wise on July 9, 1988 in Baltimore, Maryland. Serpent with Feet grew up in a religious family and received classical training. However, it was through his poetic experimental R&B and visual performance that he found his voice. His debut EP, Blisters 2016, produced with his partner Burke, aka the Hacks and Cloak, introduced a genre-bending sound with haunting instrumentation and deep emotion. Subsequent albums like Soil 2018 and Deacon 2021 created a sacred space where Black queer love was not hidden but celebrated. Songs like Heart That's Blessed and Same-Size Shoes used religious imagery not to condemn but to elevate desire, intimacy, and joy, turning the art into a celebration of tenderness between men. His bold, sometimes surreal Baroque style was critically acclaimed, though his explicit depictions of Black gay love still made some audiences wary. I wanted to write songs that made Black gay men feel seen, not studied, Wise said, turning music into an act of liberation and self-affirmation. Rashard Bradshaw, born October 28, 1990 in New Jersey, emerged from the queer underground rap scene of the early 2000s when being openly gay in hip-hop was considered career suicide. But Cakes didn't just show up, he kicked the door down, combining the confidence of battle rap with the pulsing rhythms of the club. His debut album, The Eulogy 2013, was praised by Pitchfork for its sharp lyrics, relentless beats, and commanding presence. Cakes didn't want to be a phenomenon or an icon. He wanted to be recognized as a force to be reckoned with. Songs like Goody Goodies and Dandatata hold nothing back, conveying desire, power, and nightlife through a singularly queer lens. Though often caught between two worlds too queer for hip-hop and too raw for mainstream pop, he carved out a space for fearless authenticity. His album, Svengali 2022, is a poignant journey about love, shame, and emotional control. Cakes doesn't seek acceptance, he demands respect, and with talent and courage he continues to expand his influence in music and the LGBTQ+ community, establishing himself as more than just a rapper but a movement. Michael David Quattlebaum Jr., born April 2, 1986 in Orange County, California, emerged in the early 2000s with a style that combined poetry, performance, art punk, and experimental hip-hop, creating music that was difficult to categorize and unforgettable. Identifying as gender fluid and using the pronouns they/them, she and her Mickey became one of the first artists to blur the lines between gender expression and confidence in rap. Early mixtapes, like Cosmic Angel and Gay Dog Food, featured chaotic beats and lyrics that were both challenging and highly performative. In 2015, Mickey publicly disclosed his HIV status, a move that was virtually unprecedented in the industry, and insisted that it was not a reason to be ashamed. His 2016 album Mikey was a turning point, both introspective and fiercely powerful, with songs like High School Never Ends and Loner. They performed globally, collaborated with Madonna, and continually redefined hip-hop with their on-stage weirdness, from wigs and makeup to combat boots. Their 2021 album, Broken Hearts and Beauty Sleep, continued to push boundaries, fusing dance rap with vulnerability, proving that Mickey Blanco was still a creative force daring to challenge the industry and open up space for queer artists. O.J. Morgan, born March 15, 1987, in West Palm Beach, Florida, began studying performance art before recording any songs. His breakthrough came in 2012 when designer Rick Owens used his song Emma Reed in a Paris fashion show. The song, minimalist, haunting, and eerie, repeated hypnotic rap verses, redefining the expression of Black queerness in hip-hop. Zebra Cats tapped into dance culture, deep history, and created a sacred space for creativity. Yet mainstream radio remained confused by his music. Experimental albums like Less Is More, 2020, and Black Widow, 2023, blended trap, industrial techno, and spoken word exploring isolation, overexposure, and the image of being a gay black man. Despite being caught between the acclaim of the art world and the indifference of the public, Cat remained steadfast in his musical pursuits. He promoted his gay image through abstract lyrics, whispering vocals mixed with screams, and insisted that music was not about pleasing anyone but about telling his own story. Before gay rap became mainstream, O.J. Morgan paved the way for creative freedom and honesty. Eli 1F, born Kif Duff on April 6, 1989 in Manhattan, laid the foundation for queer rap in the New York underground. He blended electronic beats, dance skills, and candid gay storytelling to create a unique and powerful style. A Yale graduate and classically trained dancer, Lee 1F brought precision and energy to both his lyrics and his performance. His breakthrough song, Wood, 2012, was a sensation not only for its bold rap, but also for its portrayal of a black gay man in shorts, twerking in high heels, and rapping openly about same-sex love. He challenged the hypocrisy of the music industry, criticizing the way white gay artists were celebrated while black gay artists were ignored. Mixtapes like Fly Zone and Treehouse blend aggression, humor, and vulnerability, while 2015's Riot Boy experimented with Dev Hynes' Sophie and Jungle Pussy. While he hasn't gotten the recognition he deserves from the public, Eli 1F never compromises, always reminding that queer black music is often borrowed and watered down, as he once said, "Mom doesn't make music to calm down, she makes music to wake up." Kamai Iwa, born November 19, 1979, in Aberdeen, Maryland, is a poet, experimental musician, and political activist who stands at the crossroads of hip-hop, punk noise, and Afrofuturism. She uses art as a shield, a weapon, and a living memory. Her debut album, Fetish Bones, 2016, is a screaming sonic manifesto that combines field recordings and spoken word poetry, feeling like a prayer of rebellion. Her subsequent works, such as Liquid Black Holes and collaborations with the Afrofuturism collective Quantum, continue to explore jazz, black science fiction, and politics. More Mother raps not about clubs or love, but about ancestral trauma, police brutality, capitalism, gender violence, and time distortion. She rejects binaries, deconstructs form, and challenges listeners as a lecturer at the University of Southern California, and has performed at the Whitney Jazz Festival, the Berlin Biennial, and the Tate Modern. While she hasn't topped the charts, her influence extends across music, academia, politics, and the underground arts scene. More Mother lets her rhythm and art do the talking. Louise Kevin Celestine, born August 25, 1992, in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and raised in Montreal, has become one of the most respected producers and DJs of the 2010s. His sound blends funk hip-hop, R&B, and house-breathing new life into global dance culture. His debut album, 99.9% 2016, won the Polaris Music Prize and featured collaborations with Anderson, Pac, Craig, David, and Aluna George. But Kitanada's journey is about more than just music. It's about identity. In 2016, he came out as gay, sharing the depression, loneliness, and imposter syndrome that were exacerbated by hiding his sexuality in an industry that is sometimes harsh on gay men, especially those working behind the scenes. The album Bubba 2019 continued to affirm the freedom and joy in every beat, winning a Grammy for Best Electronic Dance Album, while also carrying a message of black queerness and playfulness. From underground performances to fashion runways and radio, Kitanada proves that sometimes you don't need to scream to change the atmosphere, just a beat can move the world. Enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support and help spread these inspiring and untold stories. Every view and every comment is a step towards increasing understanding, respect, and support for the LGBTQ+ community in music and in real life.